AITA for refusing to take care of my dad after he abandoned us years ago? When I was 10, my dad packed a suitcase and left without saying goodbye. No warning, no explanation, just silence and a slammed door. I remember sitting at the window for days, convinced he'd come back. My mom told me he was figuring some things out, but after weeks turned into months, I realized he wasn't coming home. We went from a family of 4 to 3 overnight, and the hole he left was like a ghost that haunted our house for years. Mom worked herself to exhaustion, 2 jobs, night shifts, barely any sleep. I grew up fast, helping with my little sister, paying bills when I got my first part-time job, pretending everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. Every day felt like walking on broken glass, careful not to let the absence of my dad slice any deeper. We barely talked about him. It was like speaking his name would summon bad luck. But I thought about him all the time, wondering if he missed us, if he even cared. I used to imagine he'd walk through the door one day and apologize, maybe say he made a mistake. That fantasy kept me going for a long time. But he never came back. Years passed, I went to college, and one random afternoon, I got a Facebook message from him. It was short, "Hey, I've missed you guys. Hope you're doing well." I stared at it for hours, trying to feel something. But I couldn't. I left it on read and never replied. Fast forward 20 years. My life is stable, I've got a decent job, a small apartment, and I take care of Mom whenever I can. Then, out of nowhere, my phone rings. It's him. His voice was older, weaker, and when he said my name, something inside me twisted. He told me he was sick, late-stage kidney disease. His wife had left him, and he had no one else to turn to. He said he didn't want to die alone. I froze. Part of me wanted to hang up, but another part wanted to scream at him for everything he'd put us through. Instead, I just said, "I'll think about it," and ended the call. Since then, I can't stop thinking about him. My mom said it's up to me, but I can tell she wants me to help. She's too forgiving. My sister, on the other hand, was furious when I even mentioned it. She said, "He made his choice. Let him live with it." And she's right. He abandoned us, never paid a dime in support, never showed up for birthdays, graduations, anything. We were invisible to him. So why should I help now that he's broken and alone? But guilt is a funny thing. Every time I try to move on, I hear his voice, fragile, scared. It messes with me. I've tried to tell myself that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, that I can still be a good person without letting him back in my life. Yet, I feel like that 10-year-old kid again, waiting at the window, wondering if maybe this time he really means it. I went to visit him once, just to see. He looked so small, thin, pale, almost unrecognizable. He cried when he saw me. He said leaving us was the biggest mistake of his life, that he'd been too proud, too stupid, too scared to come back. I didn't know what to say. I just sat there, numb, while he talked about regret like it could erase decades of pain. Now I'm stuck. If I walk away, I'll feel like I'm abandoning him the way he abandoned us. But if I stay, I'll have to live with the weight of everything he did. Maybe some people are strong enough to forgive. Maybe I'm not. Am I wrong for not wanting to take care of my father after everything he's done? Or would helping him now be the one good thing I'll regret not doing for the rest of my life? AITA for telling my best friend's fiancé the truth about his secret affair? I've known Jake since we were kids. We met in middle school, went through every major life event together. High school, first heartbreaks, our first crappy jobs. He was the brother I never had. When he met Emma, I was genuinely happy for him. She grounded him in a way I'd never seen before. They were one of those couples that made everyone believe in meant to be. She became like family to me too, so when he proposed, I was over the moon. I helped plan the engagement, even helped him pick the ring. It should have been perfect. But beneath the surface, a secret was waiting, one that would shatter all of that. About a year before their wedding, he confessed something that made me question everything I knew about him. He'd been cheating. Not once, not some drunken mistake, an actual affair. A co-worker. It had been going on for months. He told me over beers like it was nothing, laughing like it was some joke. I was disgusted. I told him he needed to come clean, that he was ruining a good woman's life. He brushed it off, saying, "Emma doesn't need to know. It's just physical." That sentence burned into my brain. Every time he said it, it felt like a knife twisting in my gut. I couldn't look at him the same way after that. Every time we hung out with Emma, I felt like a co-conspirator in a lie. I'd see her planning the wedding, smiling like her whole future was ahead of her, and I wanted to scream. I kept pushing him to confess, to do the right thing, but he refused. He said it would destroy everything. I stopped talking to him for a while, trying to protect my own sanity. But when Emma called me last month to ask about the seating chart for the wedding, I snapped. I told her everything, the affair, the lies, even showed her proof he'd sent me when he bragged about it. I didn't sugarcoat it. The fallout was immediate. Emma called off the wedding, packed her things, and left him. Jake exploded. He showed up at my apartment screaming that I'd ruined his life, that I was jealous and bitter. He told everyone in our friend group that I'd betrayed him. Some sided with him, saying it wasn't my place to interfere in someone else's relationship. Others quietly told me I did the right thing. But, honestly, it doesn't feel good. It feels like losing a piece of my own history. I keep wondering if I went too far. Maybe I should have forced him to tell her himself, or given her a warning instead of dumping everything at once. But then I remember her face when she found out. The way she looked at me, devastated but grateful. She told me I saved her from a lifetime of lies. That moment made it worth it. Still, I lost my best friend that day. Maybe forever. It's been months since it happened, and I still catch myself wanting to text him. Despite everything, I miss him. But I know that the version of him I loved, the loyal, good-hearted guy, doesn't exist anymore. Maybe he never did. So, am I the asshole for destroying my best friend's engagement, or did I just help someone see the truth she deserved to know? AITA for kicking my brother out after discovering he was secretly recording me at home? My younger brother Kyle has always been a bit odd. Not dangerous, not mean, just socially awkward and unpredictable. When he lost his job last year and had nowhere to go, I offered him my spare room. I figured it would be a few months tops, enough time for him to get back on his feet. At first, everything was fine. He cooked, helped with groceries, even seemed happier. I thought maybe this was a good fresh start for both of us. But then I started noticing weird things. My bedroom door was slightly open when I knew I'd closed it. My computer's webcam light would flash randomly. One night, I woke up to footsteps in the hallway, but when I checked, Kyle was asleep. Something felt wrong, so I decided to check my house. That's when I found it, a small hidden camera behind a vent in the living room. My heart stopped. I tore the place apart and found two more, one in the hallway, one in the kitchen. When I confronted him, he looked terrified, then tried to play it off as a prank. He said he just wanted to see what I did all day, that it wasn't a big deal. I saw red. I told him to pack his stuff and leave. He begged me not to. Said he had nowhere to go, that he didn't mean any harm. I didn't care. He violated my trust, my privacy, my home. I gave him one night to leave and changed the locks the next day. When my parents found out, they lost it. At me. They said I was heartless, that Kyle had been struggling mentally and I should have helped him get therapy instead of throwing him into the street. But what about me? How was I supposed to live under the same roof knowing he'd been watching me? It's been weeks, and I still can't shake the paranoia. I check my phone for hidden apps, I unplug my webcam, I sleep with my door locked. My parents barely speak to me now. Mom keeps saying I destroyed the family. But I didn't destroy anything. Kyle did. He crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Still, I feel guilty. I think about him sleeping in his car, lost, broken, and I wonder if I could have done more. Maybe he really does need help. Maybe I should have been the one to get it for him. But every time I imagine living with him again, I feel sick. So I'm stuck in this awful middle ground. Guilty but not sorry. I protected myself, but in doing so, I might have abandoned my brother when he needed me most. Still, I can't bring myself to regret it. Some things just can't be undone. Am I the asshole for putting my safety first, or is family loyalty supposed to mean forgiving even the unforgivable?